What's going on, guys? ChaseWins.com coming to you for a date that I don't even like saying. It is Wednesday, September the 11th. This day always gives me the creeps. It's a reminder of probably one of the worst days in our country's history. A day that, you know, I mean, we all remember certain things in life, but I can honestly say that that is, you know, I think the only times in my life that I remember things so vividly were the birth of my first child, my wedding day, the Cubs winning the World Series, and then September the 11th. Yeah, that's a day that, even though I was young, I remember every single detail about that day, from the time I got out of bed to the time, you know, I laid my head down that night. And what made it even more eerie was, like, a month before that, I was in the city. I was inside of the buildings, inside of the North Tower, and you know, it was buildings that I'd seen many times, been in quite a few times, and it was like the staple of the American skyline. You know, it was, I don't want to, how I even want to word this. It was almost like that was the picture of America's economy, you know, just the country that we were and had grown to be. And it's a terrible day. So to all the men and women in uniform that were in uniform prior to that day, and then the ones that decided to step up after that day, you know, thank you to you all. You deserve nothing but the utmost respect and admiration from all of us. And if anybody was personally affected or indirectly, I think we were all kind of indirectly affected, but anybody that may have personally been affected by that day, friends, family, anything, thoughts and prayers go out to you on this day. I know it can't be easy. So sorry for not being here yesterday. It was kind of a sad day in our house. We everybody knows that I lost my my dog of 13 years, my best buddy, back in October. And so, you know, it was my dog, didn't care for anyone else but me, had no interest in anyone else but me, and truly, you know, they say man's best friend, that dog was my best friend. And when that dog passed away, we decided to get another dog, same type, but one that, you know, would grow up knowing the kids and all that kind of stuff. And so we did back in February, picked her up from a very, very well-known breeder and in Atlanta. And you know, she had become a part of the family very, very quick. You guys saw her on video all the time. Dog was smart as a whip, other than she had no common sense. But, you know, was kind of like my buddy every day, sat here with me while I worked. If the house was empty and I was going to the office, she rode with me. Loved my kids to death. I mean, ate them up. And I remember back on the first day of school a couple weeks ago, when the house was empty and I decided to work from home that day. I came back, she went with me to drop the girls off at school, and then we came back and she just sat there right beside, you know, my chair and just depressed all day until they got home. And then when they got home, she didn't leave their side. So she loved those kids more than anything. They adored her. And yesterday, she was just doing what puppies do. You know, she got overzealous. She, you know, she doesn't use a leash or anything. She always just follows me around, and what I say, if, you know, if I say something, stop or anything, she comes to a screeching halt. But yesterday, for whatever reason, she saw something and took out across the road, and somebody hit her, and she didn't make it. I mean, it was instant, just like that. And then the stupid bastard didn't slow down, didn't try to stop, turn around. So let's just say that I was very, very familiar with that person's vehicle because it drives by my house every day. So I was able to go find that individual. And I'm not going to do anything to incriminate myself, but let's just say he'll never forget my face. It's not his fault that he hit the dog, but don't be a pile of shit and not even fucking stop. So anyway, it was a really, really hard day in our house yesterday. So I just I wasn't really into it to make a video. Still kind of not into it, but life goes on. We got to go. So let's do a couple days worth of recaps. And then just to let you guys know, there is no daily top play today. We have an MLB Game of the Year. As everybody knows, I have a Game of the Year in every sport. Some sports I have two. You know, usually in Major League Baseball, I always have one pre-All-Star break and then post-All-Star break. So one for the first half of the season and one for the second half. I've never lost a Game of the Year. Knock on wood, you know, anything can happen in baseball, but we've always been very, very fortunate to cash big on those plays. First half of the season, we played it in late May, early June. White Sox money line minus 135. They won 2-0 in that game, so we cashed in huge on that Game of the Year. We have another one tonight. I got a nice write-up with it. The play's $100. Comes with a 7-day guarantee, so if it were to lose, you get 7 days of all my plays, daily top play and premium, absolutely free. And you know, just go read the write-up and you'll understand that this should be a completely one-sided game. Hopefully it will be that way, and nothing strange will happen. Because it's going to be up to this one team to win it or lose it. Their opponent shouldn't even be a factor in this game. So we do have that, but there is no daily top play for all the people that are just on the normal packages. Everything else is a premium play, but the play can be purchased. It's under the Game of the Year. Second half MLB Game of the Year, I'm excited, goes tonight. The play will be on the website until 7 p.m. I'm going to pull it down after that, the purchase side of it. That way, you know, everybody's got plenty of time to purchase it and get the play in and make sure they get to play it. The line may change just a little bit, so you probably want to get it sooner rather than later. But let's jump into a recap from 2 days ago, from Monday. And we'll start with the NFL. We had the New Orleans Saints minus 6.5. We bought it down to 6. They were doing everything they needed to go out there and cover that after a rough start to the game. But it just shows that, you know, even though Tom Brady is the best quarterback to probably have ever lived, Drew Brees is definitely in that conversation of not only one of the tops, you know, in the game today, but definitely probably one of the top 6 or 7 to ever play the game. He's just unbelievable. I mean, just the stuff that he can do, threading the needle like he does. They didn't cover the spread, but it was an incredible game nonetheless. They allowed Houston to come back and play a little bit of hurry-up offense, which that's not Deshaun Watson's MO, but his receiver, let me tell you something. He's got a lot of experience working with that receiver, guys. We're talking years of experience working with him. He is a hurry-up guy. They needed to put just a little more pressure on Watson as he got out of the pocket, and they would have been able to probably end that game the way that it was, but they didn't. And, you know, they ended up having that stupid penalty. That was a questionable penalty at best. I don't know that I would have called that, and not even just saying because I was on the other side of it. Just the way that it kind of happened, I don't know. But either way, you know, it should have ended in a tie, gone into overtime. But what did Drew Brees do? He did exactly what he needed to do to put his team in just the slightest of field goal positions. Kick came through, they won the game, but we did not cover. But then we also had the Raiders plus 2.5, so that would have evened us out. We would have lost a little bit of juice, but we also had a lean on the money line for the Oakland Raiders at plus 135. Everybody knows on the leans I put to win 500 versus my normal dime for premiums. So put 500 on it plus 135 money line, took care of business. So you know, if you played that, it actually was a profitable Monday in the NFL. And then we had 5 plays in the MLB. We did have a top play on the San Francisco Giants money line. That one did not come through. That was the only loss we took in the MLB that day. The other 4 premiums, Milwaukee Brewers run line, Cleveland Indians run line, Cleveland Indians, Angels under 8.5, as well as the New York Mets run line. All of those were winners, so a 4-1 day in the MLB. Now, yesterday we come through, we had the Cleveland Indians again, which they took care of business. We had the Cincinnati Reds, they took care of business. The Cubs almost came through and did it, but they lost. The San Francisco Giants, I'm not the San Francisco Giants, the St. Louis Cardinals just had so many opportunities to explode that game wide open, people in scoring position, and they just couldn't do it. They could not get that offense to open up. And it cost them the game 2-1 against a team that probably should have been beaten by at least 5 runs last night. So that one hurt us last night. The Cubs game hurt us last night. So overall, we lost money yesterday. You know, like I said, Cleveland pulled us a little, put a little bit of money back, and so did the Cincinnati Reds. But a rare losing day in the MLB. But what happens after a losing day? We always bounce back. We bounce back strong because everybody knows best in the MLB for a reason. We do not have losing days very often, and when we do, it certainly is not something that spans for multiple days at a time. usually. It happens from time to time. But today, we've got 4 premium plays, 3 premiums. We've got 1 slightly smaller premium. When if you're on the package or you buy it, you'll get to see the write-up and the reasons on that. And then, of course, we've got the game of the year as our 5th play. So make sure you jump on that. If you're not interested in the game of the year and you just want the premium plays, $50 will get you 3 days. $99 will get you 7 days. And I tell you what, I want to do something, but I think I'm going to wait until tomorrow. Let's just focus on this game of the year. Everybody's been asking for the extra day promo again, but I'm thinking about kind of adding another exclamation point to it. I think I'm just going to wait and do it tomorrow. We'll see. I'm loving the college football card for this week. It's a potential we could have another MLB game of the week this week, but there is a really good chance we will have a college football game of the week this week. Just want to make sure everything falls in line the way that it's kind of already fallen in line. Just want to make sure nothing changes before we pull the trigger on that. So I think that's all I've got for you today, guys. Like I said, I've gotten probably 100+ emails already, people, you know, sending their thoughts and prayers to me. I appreciate you. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get back to everybody. I'm just trying to get the business related emails focused on first, and then I'll go back and, you know, give my thanks to all of you. And if for some reason I missed somebody, do not think that you're going unnoticed. I'm thanking everybody right here. It really, really does mean a lot. I appreciate it. It just shows that we're not just business partners. We're all a family here, you know, and it's not just about money. It's about being a family and winning together. So let's go out and let's do a free play. And I tell you what, there was a couple of them I was looking at that I really wanted to give, and I couldn't decide on which one. You know, like I slightly lean Cole Hamels tonight, but at 35 years old, you know, he's one of those guys where they're going to have to start monitoring his pitch count because his arm's getting worn down right here at the end of the season. I'll give you a little something to think about if you're breaking down games yourself tonight. And, you know, and you think you have found an edge. I tell you, here's one pretty wild stat that I like that most people probably won't look at, but this is something that I've been looking at all week. Look at the Cardinals and the Rockies. Senzatella and Hudson. Tella allows lefties to hit 371 off him. Lefties are hitting 371 off him for the season. Take a look at St. Louis's lineup. So just take a look at that. But I tell you what, I lean the New York Yankees tonight over Detroit. I'm not crazy about Sabathia, and I do like Boyd. But Boyd can't be perfect all the time. He's the only good arm that the Tigers have right now. But you know what? He's probably tired of being the only reliable arm. The thing is, the thing that pushes me over the edge with this is the fact that they generated so much offense last night. So we're going to take a chance. New York Yankees -1.5 at -$1.45, strictly on the fact that Detroit had so much offense last night, and I don't see them being able to capitalize on that again tonight. So I think they're going to struggle offensively, and New York will be able to do just enough in the later innings after Boyd comes out to be able to kind of separate themselves. So go get on the game of the year. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, chase@chasewins.com. We're going to take a lean. New York Yankees -1.5 at -$1.45. Go get it, guys.